Hello, Trevor.
Hello.
Hello, Matt.
What's up?
Hello, Preston.
What's up?
Hello, Bryan.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. You?
How old are you?
21 years old.
I am 20 years old.
21. I'm 21.
I am 20. What's the best lesson you learned in 2021?
I would say the best lesson I learned is surround yourself by the right people. At times when you don't, things can go downhill. And when you do, you'll feel better for it. Whether that's here or back in West Texas, I think it makes a big difference.
I've learned that it's best to be patient and put your head down and work. So years past, like things haven't really been too clear as to like where I'd end up. And this year it like finally paid off. So like kind of being patient and things like God works in mysterious ways. So that's kind of just being patient and putting my head down. It works out in the end.
Lots of lessons actually, but probably the best lesson I probably learned this last year was how to grow, I guess, in just like every way, mentally, going from a bad place to get myself to a good place, physically, like getting myself from small to aspiring to be like bigger and like fit and stuff, another big lesson, I guess, is to not care so much. So not caring and growth, probably.
Well, I'll say perspective because I usually have words of the year, and 2020 it was patience, and 2021 is perspective. And not that I judged people a lot beforehand, but I wanted to really just stop talking and listen more. So I wanted to see, how people thought, and some people think they're right in this scenario, whatever. So I wanted to listen, and see how I can see it from their perspective. So perspective, definitely, that was the biggest lesson I learned. What was the biggest problem you had to face in 2021?
As far as a problem, I wouldn't really call this a problem, but it really is. All my setbacks with my injuries and my sicknesses. I got sick like 4 times in a row, and then I got my cut open face, and nothing was really going right for me for a few months there. And it just felt like it would never get better, but it did.
Biggest problem is probably choosing the right people to be around. I feel like, who do I spend most of my time with, and like how am I prioritizing my time? It's, it can go both ways. Like if you spend time with the right people, like I think y'all are the right people to spend the time with, but if I don't do that, then I fall into bad habits, I guess.
The biggest problem in 2021. Rejection, or thinking or being not good enough. And that's kind of like what got me going with the lessons, I guess, for the lessons learned. Both of those come from a source of rejection and not being good enough, I guess.
Considering this was my first year back into a university after going to TCC and stopping soccer, I guess it was almost finding who I was or who I wanted to be. Um, so, going to UTA and figuring out who am I, because I switched majors from pre-med to computer science. So finding my personality and my future and who I want to be. And it's a tough ride. What do you consider a perfect day?
That's a good one. I like that one. Wake up early. I like waking up early when I can, which means getting a good night's sleep the day before. Waking up early, getting breakfast, going to the gym, going to soccer practice, eating a meal after, eating lunch a couple hours later. Definitely not school. No chance. No chance. I guess playing Xbox, watching a movie with my roommates, eating dinner, going to play basketball, and then getting to bed early so that I can do it all again.
Perfect day. I wake up on time at like 8 or 9 o'clock. I don't have class. I don't have any, it's the middle of semester, but I don't have any obligations for school. I'm done with my homework. And I wake up and I have baseball for like majority of the day. And my boys come out and they see me and I get dinner with them and kind of just spend the night with them. Yeah, for sure. That's about it.
A perfect day, I guess, like, I don't really have a definition of perfect, I guess. So, I guess just, nothing, it feels like to you, at least, it doesn't have to be the same for everyone, but for you, you have a feeling of everything's going right. You have no worries in the world. You're at your mind and you're mentally at just 100% pure relaxation, stress-free, no worries, and you're just you can be like laying down with just a smile and just knowing nothing is wrong.
A perfect day. I think it involves lots of soccer, lots of it, and friends and music, and just messing around. The perfect day, in my opinion, is you're not really thinking. You're just doing and enjoying and living. Like, you're not worried about what you're doing next. You're just in the moment, and I think that's when most of the best memories happen. What is a goal or aspiration you completed or worked on last year?
My main goal has been, for a while, putting myself out there more. And I think that's my main goal for this upcoming year too. But I think I did well. Just like, rather than having people approach me, approach them, and then I want to keep getting even better at it.
Really, I think working on like being more creative, like y'all have kind of pushed me to like get outside my comfort zone, and like it's easy to like work on things that I love doing, but like working on things that I'm not good at isn't always the most fun. So I feel like I've been trying to write poetry, I've been trying to read more, just kind of taking things like as I learn them, like not getting too frustrated with it. But that's something I've been working on this last year.
Well, throughout the whole year, I had my last year, my soccer account started, and the original goal was 100 days in a row of some sort of training, whether that's like in the gym, playing soccer, just somehow physically making myself better, I guess. and the original goal was 100. I surpassed that and ended all 2021 doing it every single day up until the first few days of 2022. So that was my goal achieved, was hitting not just 100 days, but exactly on the dot, 365 days.
Well, I started a podcast, which I'm currently doing. Did some YouTube stuff. I am in the works of finishing a book, which is really exciting, but it's tough to finish. So that's something I am constantly working on. What's crazy, I don't know if I finished a goal or aspiration really, but I'm in the works of a lot of them that started in 2021. What was your favorite part of 2021?
I have a couple. Our trip, that was in 2021, right? In the summer? Yeah. Okay, that. Our trip, and then just that whole thing was crazy. And then traveling to Cali for the soccer games. I guess just traveling in general is just my thing, so both of those were the best.
Baseball season, by far. Life is going good. I mean, life still is good. Life's great, but baseball, that's probably something I'll remember forever. And yeah, I mean, I had the time of my life. So I made some new friends, made some new memories, built on some old friendships. It was great. So
Rediscovering myself has to be. The year started out me just like in a bad place, and I felt distant from friends and family, and even like, because I was coaching in the beginning of 2021, I didn't really feel like I had a connection with like the kids I was training or anything like that. But by the end of the year, I feel like my relationship with all my family, all of my friends, all of the coaches I have and who I personally coach as well, I feel like those became at an all-time high. But that doesn't necessarily mean for like friendships wise as well, of like everyone. Like I lost some like friendships in the year, but those were the ones that I feel like needed to be lost. So I discovered like who like those real friends are, I guess, and then made those relationships, like I said, with family, friends, and people I work with, like at an all-time high, like at the strongest point I feel like I've had. So
Definitely the Colorado trip I took with Matthew, Preston, Trevor, and Christian. That was one of the moments where honestly, like, we were just like living. That's how I felt. Like every second we were there, like I really didn't know what we were doing next. I really didn't care what we were doing next, but it was out of state and it was with like the best people that I feel like I could have gone with. So that just felt like that was a point where I actually felt like I was living, not just on a constant schedule of just doing the same thing day in, day out, day in, day out. So that was the best part, probably. When is the last time you cried or were genuinely sad?
This goes along with the whole sickness one. I remember oh man, wow. I don't think I've told y'all, but there was that one point where, so I think I got strep first, and then I got fine, I recovered, and I got strep again, and then that time, before I went to the doctor, I thought I had COVID, and that was like right in the middle of the season, and it was like setback after setback, and then I had my cut, and then that was another 3 weeks out, and then I thought I had COVID, and that would have been another 2-3 weeks out. That would have been like my season there. And I remember I was going to get medicine at like Walgreens before I went to the doctor, and just like NyQuil, DayQuil, all that, and I just started bawling my eyes out because it was so hard, and I thought it was only gonna get worse, but it ended up just being strep, so it was all right in the end.
Genuinely sad that I lost my dog, Ranger. Yeah, that one hurt, and it still like sits with me, and like I keep looking at pictures on my phone, and like I miss him, and I try not to be like too down on it, like try and keep the relationship of oh he's just a dog. At the same time, it's more than a dog. It's it's a family member in a way. So it hits some nights. You'll be going to sleep and you'll think about it, but I cried that day. I cried a lot, but I kind of spent the whole day, and I got to talk to people I cared about, and they cared about me, and that was hard. But I mean, things could be a lot worse. He lived a good life.
There was definitely a couple nights of just like me in my room throughout, like, I think the biggest month of it happening was November, but in November there was a lot of nights of just like me laying in my room in my bed super confused of just like, I guess, like what my future consists of, and like I didn't know like what direction I should head into towards certain things, and I was like driving myself to some points of like insanity and like a certain level of craziness that was just like in like so like crying in like a frustrating way, I guess, of just like being lost, not knowing what to do. But that thankfully like went away because of like the discovery that came within the year. But definitely some nights of maybe like not full on crying, but like frustration tears, I think.
So I've been really good the last couple years, honestly. Like I've been in probably the best place I've been in a while, so that's nice. It's been a big time coming, but something happened. I won't say their name, but something happened to one of my friends, which was pretty bad. Which they're better now, much better now, but when I initially heard it, it hit me like a truck, and I literally don't cry. I don't know why. Like, that's not me. Like, I'm not like trying to be manly, but like, for some reason, I just don't cry. But when I heard it, I just broke into tears because it was sad, especially coming from that person who deals with it quite often. So, yeah, that happened quite late last year. What's most important to you right now?
It's a tough one. Meeting new people, making new friends, growing my connections with all the people I already know, and being a positive light in everyone's life that I meet every day.
Right now, most important in my life would probably be. That's a good question. Most important in my life would probably be pursuing my goals of playing baseball right now and just kind of being present in that moment, because I get caught up in what am I going to do after school, or what am I doing next week, or whatever, right? But definitely just being present and like enjoying baseball and like the season that I'm in, because it's a good season.
Relationships, as in relationship with myself religious relationships, friend relationships, and family relationships.
I would say keeping my creative side in me alive. Um, because after I stopped playing soccer, I was at college, I was at West Texas, and that didn't go as planned. But after I stopped playing, it was tough to find who I wanted to be. And so I had to try to be inspired by like lots of things. So once I figured out I wanted to be extremely creative in like photography, videography, stuff like that, like it opened up a lot of avenues to do different things. And being creative gives lots of outlets to the brain. So definitely keep my creative side up and about, and obviously like grow and manifest like all the relationships I have with my friends and with my family and stuff. Is one of my goals this year is definitely to be a better friend. So yeah, I would say those two things. What is some advice for yourself this year?
Mm. I have my goals already lined up for the year. Hold yourself accountable. Like, I have my goals. I know how much it'll make my life better. Hold myself accountable. Hold myself to those goals so that I do make my life better.
Well, outside of, be present and enjoy the moment, because it's not going to be forever, I would tell myself that, life's going to get hard in the next coming years, and you're a good guy, and you know what you're doing most of the time, but don't be afraid to ask for help.
Some advice is don't give up. With my like account that I did, there was definitely times where I wanted to give up, and I didn't give up. And then now that that's done, whatever I set myself towards, like whatever the next thing is that I like put my mind down to like focus on and do, don't let myself give up on that. That could even go for like the gym right now. Aspirations of now trying to get like bigger and stuff and stronger. Don't slip up and don't give up. And that, and even going into hopefully physical therapy school soon, that's going to be very hard, but don't give up on it.
Some advice for myself this year. It's 2022, and just do it. And whatever you want to do, really attack it. Attack it. You're gonna fail. There's gonna be some low times, 100% coming off of last year. So who cares? Really, who cares? Do what you want to do. No matter what anyone else says. And chase it and be consistent. Be consistent for once in your life. What do you do to find your peace?
I would say soccer. That's all I really have done forever. Just going out to the field, working out just in general, and taking my mind off things by just, whether that's like YouTube, Netflix, anything like that, or just hanging out with friends.
I like to play baseball, but if that's not available, like going to hit on my own, that always clears my head. I did that when I lost Ranger. To find my peace, I've been trying to read my Bible or just read something in general. That's been helping, and I wish I did a lot more of it. So maybe that's something I could do in 2022. But I feel like taking myself out of what I'm doing currently, like school or baseball or frustration, just kind of reading anything kind of helps.
Thank you.
One thing that puts me at peace is to just it's interesting because it's like I have different ways, and they're very controversial and like very different from each other. So I guess it like depends on the circumstance of like why I want to be put at peace. So I guess for me, there's different ways to be at peace. I guess one of the ways for me to be at peace would be a very quiet environment and to like read scripture to help me relax a little bit and even like trying to pray. And then there's another way I can be put at peace where if I'm just like stressed or whatever, mentally stressed, to just have like chill R&B music playing or whatever it is. Just music can put me at peace. But another one is like going to the gym. Just I can be put at peace by like taking my frustrations out by lifting weights. So they're all like very different answers from each other. So it just depends on the reason why I need to be put at peace, I guess.
Music. Sometimes YouTube, YouTube is really nice as well, but music definitely is like a friend to me. So any type of music, especially now that I'm like branching out into other genres, I can listen to music 24/7 all day. So it's definitely gonna be music. And now, I want to like better my religious side. So now that I'm starting to read scripture and stuff, that is like, it's so peaceful, and like the understanding and knowledge you get from it like helps, and it's so beneficial. So music and scripture, I would say. Thank you, Trevor.
Is that it? Nice. I think I did all right.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Preston.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bryan.